At what age do nocturnal emissions begin? Before we move forward, we need to know this first. Why do nocturnal emissions start? Many young men become worried when they experience their first nocturnal emission. For many, this experience feels unexpected, unfamiliar, or even confusing. They often ask, why did this start happening to me? The simple answer is nocturnal emissions usually begin when the reproductive system becomes active. They are connected to physical maturity, not illness or weakness. The body is entering a new developmental phase where hormonal activity increases and internal systems begin learning regulation. As reproductive functions activate, the body naturally starts producing reproductive fluid, and occasional nighttime release may occur while the system adjusts to these new changes. This process reflects a biological development and adaptation, showing that the body is transitioning toward maturity rather than signaling a medical problem. When does nocturnal emissions usually begin? In most cases, nocturnal emissions begin during puberty, which is the phase when the body transitions from childhood into physical maturity. Puberty is not a single event, it's a gradual biological process involving hormonal activation, organ development, and internal adjustments. This commonly occurs between 12 to 16 years of age. During this period, hormones increase, reproductive organs develop, semen production begins. As the system learns regulation, occasional nighttime emissions may occur. This is often part of normal biological development, but not everyone experiences them at the same age. Why doesn't everyone experience nocturnal emission at the same age? Human biology, however, doesn't work in identical patterns. Every body develops according to its own internal pace. Hormonal changes, physical maturity, emotional development, sleep patterns, and lifestyle environments differ from person to person. Because of this natural variation, the timing of nocturnal emissions also varies. Everybody develops at its own pace. Some men experience nocturnal emissions earlier, others experience it later. Factors influencing timing include genetics, lifestyle habits, mental stimulation, overall health. Variation is normal. There is no single correct age. What matters more than starting age is how frequency changes over time. Puberty and marriage, two important stages in nocturnal emissions. Nocturnal emissions usually begin after puberty, when the body starts producing semen and the reproductive system becomes active. At this stage, occasional nightfall can occur naturally. For many young men, it may happen once a week, once every 2 weeks, or once in a month. The exact frequency can vary from person to person, depending on the individual's diet, lifestyle, and overall habits. Occasional nocturnal emission at this stage is generally considered a natural bodily process. However, problems may begin when the natural temperament of the sexual organs becomes disturbed. This disturbance can develop due to certain lifestyle patterns such as excessive sexual stimulation, frequent exposure to pornography, habitual masturbation, regular consumption of overly hot and dry temperament foods. When these factors continue for a long time, the natural temperament of the sexual organs becomes disturbed. As a result, nocturnal emissions can start occurring too frequently. In such situations, a man may experience nightfall many times in a single night, nightfall every night, nightfall every second or third night. When the condition reaches this level, it usually indicates that the body's natural balance has been disrupted and the issue needs proper management. Another important factor is timely marriage or regular intimate life. When semen begins to be released naturally through marital relations, the body no longer needs to discharge it involuntarily during sleep. Because of this, unnecessary nocturnal emissions often reduce significantly. So the key point is not mere the presence of nocturnal emissions, but their frequency and overall balance of the body. But frequent nightfall usually develops only under certain specific conditions. Why age is not the real issue in excessive nocturnal emissions? It's commonly observed that nocturnal emissions occur more frequently in younger unmarried boys and men. This happens because body naturally produces semen, and when there is no regular marital relation, the body may occasionally release it during sleep. During marriage or regular intimate life, the frequency of nocturnal emissions usually reduces significantly because semen begins to be used naturally through marital relations. However, this doesn't mean that age or marital status alone determines the problem. Marriage doesn't automatically protect a man from sexual health disturbances, and youth alone doesn't automatically cause excessive emissions. What matters most is the internal balance of the body and condition of the sexual organs. When lifestyle rhythm, diet patterns, sleep quality, and mental discipline remain balanced, the body maintains stable control over sexual functions at any age. But when the natural temperament of the sexual organs becomes disturbed, problems may begin to arise. If a man is young and unmarried, frequent nocturnal emissions may begin to occur. If these are ignored and unhealthy habits continue, the condition can gradually progress towards spermatorrhea, where semen leakage may start appearing even after urination. If the man is married, the disturbance may appear in a different form. Instead of nocturnal emissions, he may begin experiencing premature ejaculation or unstable erections because the semen loses its natural thickness and becomes thin and watery. These examples show that the real issue is not age or marital status. The real issue is whether the natural balance of the body and sexual organs remains stable or becomes disturbed. The key principle: balanced lifestyle habits, disciplined routines, proper sleep, and sportive dietary patterns are essential at every stage of life. Sexual health stability depends far more on how a man lives than on how old he is. So, nocturnal emissions usually begin during puberty as part of physical development. The timing varies from person to person. Understanding this removes unnecessary fear and confusion. If you would like a clear, structured understanding of everything discussed in this video, you can download my Nocturnal Emissions free PDF guide using the link in the description below. It summarizes the key concepts, symptoms, causes, and natural management principles in a simple step-by-step format.